Morning, good morning. It's 2:54 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now. I got up and when I woke up this morning, I was doing really well. I got up, got out the bed, I heard the alarm going off. It talks to me, it says, hey, it's 1:45 a.m. on Tuesday. And I get up and I go into the living room, which is my standard routine. I take my phone in there and I get ready to plug it in because that's what I'm listening to. I sit down, I close my eyes for another 5 minutes, meditate, get my thoughts together, give some thanks to God. That's what I didn't do. I just got up, I went into the other room, I didn't give any thanks to God, and sat there for about 5 or 10 minutes, then got up and went through my normal progress or my normal progression. I don't know what sparked it, but all these thoughts of worry, of anxiety, of what will I do today? Where will I start? How will it work? And who will it work with? Flooded my mind. And it was so funny because I stopped a couple times and said, nah, devil. See, what the old me would not have even questioned why these thoughts were coming up, why all these feelings, all this anxiety was coming up. It would have just assumed that it was justified, right? Because isn't that what we do? We justify the fear. We justify the anxiety. We actually treat fear and anxiety as if it's some part of us that's normal. Like, oh, I'm just having anxiety. Hey, I am just in fear. Hey, I am just having second thoughts on whether or not this will work. And I don't think the old me would have ever questioned that. It would just have assumed that that's the way it's supposed to be and that's an emotion you're supposed to go through. But you're not. So I'm going to make a very bold statement right now. Anxiety may be a diagnosis, but anxiety is not a true fact of life. It is a mental mindset. And some people who have been diagnosed with anxiety might say, well, how do you figure it's just a mental mindset? The doctor has diagnosed me. Well, because the doctor has told you that that's what you have. You've accepted that that's what you have. You've put a name to it. You've owned it. You get to keep it. You get to keep it. Anything that you believe about yourself or you believe to be truth is something you get to keep. If you believe you're great, you get to keep the fact that you're great. If you believe that you've come from poverty and your family never had nothing, therefore you'll never have nothing, you get to keep that too. You get to keep that all the way up until the point you decide that you want to start changing what you believe. Now, there's probably going to be some people that really don't like the fact that I'm saying that anxiety is bullshit. I'm not supposed to cuss. But I thought that that was an appropriate time to do that. Because you don't have to own anything. But I would suggest that you question everything. Everything that doesn't agree with you. Because if you've accepted anxiety or fear as a part of who you are, then you've accepted something to give you an excuse for not going as far as you can go. You've accepted a limitation. So I'm getting ready, and mind you, I'm not even 30 minutes into my day this morning. Now, when I say this morning, I'm talking about it's barely ticking 3 o'clock right now, a.m. I wasn't even into my morning by 30 minutes, and my mind was racing. I don't know what sparked it. Because when I sit back and really think about it, I got lots of business to do. I got lots of things to do. I don't have to wonder about where my next business deal is coming from. I don't have to wonder about what I'm going to do this morning. I don't have to wonder about how my life's going to turn out. I don't have to go through that process. But if I had sat there and I accepted the fact that anxiety was something that I was supposed to go through, or that fear was something I was supposed to just go through, then guess what? That's how my day would have went. And it was so funny. It was so funny because I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, this isn't justified. Why are you having these thoughts? This is crazy. Your life has always been perfect. The outcome is what you want it to be. It always has been. What would you fear? What are you worried about? But see, that's the new me. There's a lot of old me's running around. There's very few new me's out there. Because the old me and the old me's that's running around, they'll accept that as a part of the way things are supposed to go. They'll simply say that that's how it is. I've been diagnosed. And the sad thing is we put all these names and all these different and my faith is stronger than any disease. I'm sorry to that. It is what it is. And God's plan is God's plan. That has nothing to do with whatever man wants to diagnose us, or whatever man wants to say is the issue, and then give me a nice little clinical term for it. If you ask me why I don't believe in anxiety, if you ask me why I don't believe in fear, it's because at every single point that I've been confronted with those two things, and I've taken the choice to go into it, I came out on the other side completely fine. Anxiety is a state of mind to keep you frozen from moving forward. True. It's hard to get over. The cure for anxiety is doing it anyways. Or just calm yourself down for a couple minutes, question where this is coming from, and then ask yourself, is it true? I already know the answer. It's not. I don't care what the situation is. It's not. You're behind 3 car payments on your car. You're scared they're going to come and repo it. Every morning you get up and go look out the window to make sure that your vehicle is still there. Okay, that's the problem. There's no need to have anxiety behind that. That's just a clear, evident problem. You're having anxiety because you haven't made a decision on what you're going to do to rectify that. You're going to call the car company. You're going to borrow the money. You're going to go into your savings. How are you going to right this wrong? But instead, you'll deal with the anxiety and just keep staring out the window. There's no action. There's no action to resolve the issue. You'll just stay inside that funk. I believe that if you question, and trust me, it came at me in a rush, but it did not last long. My body is a temple that has a no-fly zone when it comes to anything outside of what I believe coming into it. It has a no. I treat it like the government. If I catch an enemy plane in my territory, anxiety, fear, I will shoot it down. I will not ask questions. I will not engage it. I will not indulge in it. I will shoot it down. I even treat it that way in my business with my clients. I won't allow negativity to come into our transaction, to come into our business dealings. I will shoot it down. I don't care if it's from my client. I don't care if it's from the other party. I don't care what it is. I'll simply let them know we're going to get this deal done. So if your mindset is on doing anything other than what I just said, kill it now, because we're going to get this deal done. Don't let anything, remember, life is short. Every minute, every hour, every day, every year, life is short. Don't let anything fly into your zone. Don't let anything fly into your zone. Don't let anything fly into your mind, and without it being questioned. That's like somebody coming into your house and saying, hey, I need to stay here for a year. You'll take more time to question them on why they're saying they need to stay in your home than you would question fear or anxiety coming into your mind. Well, why do you need to stay here? Well, how long are you going to stay here? Well, why ain't you staying where you were staying? You ain't going to just open up your door and be like, hey, lay on my couch for a year. Like, dude, I need to know why. And because I need to know what the hell you just got kicked out, because maybe I don't want that here either. Because maybe after you got the questions, why on they need to sleep here? Well, they caught me doing drugs in their house. Well, hey, dude, you can't sleep here for a year because I don't want that around me. You got to start questioning. You got to question what comes into your mind just as much as you question somebody asking to borrow your car. Why you need to borrow my car? Where your car at? You ain't got no car. Why would I let somebody with no car borrow my car? You see what I'm saying? Question it. Just simply question it. You're going to feel it. You're going to know when it comes at you because you're not going to like it. You're going to like, oh my God, this feeling, it's got me stuck. Question it. Where's it coming from? Is it true? My anxiety came at me this morning, had me thinking I had no business to go into today. Like, dude, oh my God, where are you going to get your next bit of business? That's a lie. I got 2 deals closing. I'm showing some homes. I'm working with some buyers. I got some past clients to follow up with. What are you talking about? Where's this coming from? Why is you trying to set up camp in my mind with this BS? Why do you let it set up camp in your mind with this BS? Are you getting it? I just told you how to cure it. Simply question it. The same way you would somebody coming to borrow your car, the same way you would question somebody asking to sleep on your couch for the next year. If you're going to question them on why, then you should question those thoughts and ideas that are coming to your mind that are limiting you. You should. You really should. And it might sound like a stupid conversation, but if you start questioning it, you'll start fixing it. And those little bouts of anxiety will go from a couple days or a couple months down to a couple weeks, to a couple days, to a couple hours, to a couple minutes, to a couple seconds. Because you'll start to know that you're in a no-fly zone. And anything trying to invade this territory will be shot down. No questions asked, no warning shots.